Okay, come back to me. It's time to get creative. Now the things you're going to need here is a piece of paper or some old cardboard, like an old packaging box, basically any surface you can work on. Then you'll also need something to write or colour with, like some pens or some pencils. You could use chalks, you could use pastels, anything you can get your hands on. And then you can also use some old bits of coloured card, maybe some old tissue paper from shoes, you know how to stuff it inside, old magazines. This is basically for collaging and putting some extra bits of texture in if you feel you want to. Then you can also have something sticky like a glue stick and some sticky tape and a pair of scissors. Now you don't need any of the extra bits, it's just if you've got them and you want to use them, by all means get involved. So to make our portal and our imagined place, we need to divide our surface, our paper or card, into 3 separate segments. So you can do it equally, like this, by looking at the middle point here, making sure this size is the same size as that. The fold just helps us separate the separate segments, like that. Or if you want, you can fold it in a more interesting way, more creative way. You can do whatever you like. But I'm going to start with just something like this. As long as you've got 3 segments, then this will work. So the first segment here, this is where we're going to think back to what our portal was like. And then we're going to try and design it with whatever bits and pieces we have. Now remember, you can draw, paint, you can stick, you can collage, you can write, you can put patterns in or symbols, you can do anything you want. Whatever your portal looked like, that's what you're trying to represent. So my portal was kind of round portal and it looked kind of watery. I'm just going to draw around the sticky tape to get a nice circle. Like that. But it was kind of ripply, so I'm going to try and add some ripples. Just got a bit of an old plastic bag, but I want to create that kind of shimmery, watery effect over the top. And it was kind of held up with little pillars. And it reflected on the floor. Now I'm going to look back to what I had in my pocket, and this next section I'm going to try and convey those 3 things. So one of them was a key. So I've got some old pipe cleaners here. I'm going to use this silver one. I'm just going to bend this to make a key. In fact, I'm going to stick that down with a little bit of sticky tape. I think this key went somewhere in here in order to open it. In fact, I can always go back and add it in. There it is. The other thing I found in my pocket was a skateboard. Okay, it probably wouldn't fit, but it does in this scenario. You can fit anything in your pocket in this scenario. Really big nose and tail on this skateboard. Just colour in the grip tape. A skateboard's something that brings me a lot of joy. And then the other thing I have is a bottle of water. I don't know why, that's just what was there. I mean, maybe I was thirsty, maybe that's why my portal is watery, maybe that's something I needed, so I'm going to put that in as well. And finally, for the third section, you need to depict your imagined world. What did it look like? What did it feel like? And how can you convey that in this last little segment here? So in my imagined world, there was a skate ramp, but I entered it quite high up. I could look down on it. It was quite nice to survey the scene, and it was inside of a kind of jungly, palm tree filled place. So I'm going to try and have those sort of leaning over it. It's a nice path going through that I'm going to draw up. It doesn't matter if it overlaps into the other areas or pops off over the edge of your page. It's whatever you saw and however you want to convey it. And then also in it, there was a weird cat character. I really like cats. I've got 2 cats myself. So in the imagined world that I went into, there was a little skate ramp inside of a kind of tropical forest. There was this weird little guy over here, a little cat, a path running through it, and there was 2 people waving from behind the skate ramp, people I haven't met yet. We seem to have similar interests, so potentially they could be some new friends. My stage 1, which was how my portal looked. My 3 objects that I found inside my pocket as I looked at my portal: a key, a skateboard, I'm not sure how it would fit in there, but it did, and a bottle of water. And then finally, my imagined world.